It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in cinema, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey, Jim.
Hey, Bryce.
And Murray. Where's Murray?
Murray.
Hey, Merman.
I think he's working.
What?
Yep. Last minute call. When the merman signal is in the sky, he has to go to work.
That sounds flimsy to me. So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
Ooh, thanks to all who've been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please like, subscribe, share, and give us a 5-star rating on your listening platform. Or support us and join the Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/Film Rage YYC. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible movie. And you know what? We will, because we love to rage. Now, speaking of that, let's get to raging. But first, here's a word from our sponsor.
Hey Bryce, what are you doing tonight?
I'm going to my favorite cinema, Canyon Meadows Cinema, to see the best second-run movies at the best price.
What? How inexpensive are they?
Regular price is $5.
Regular price is $5. Makes me hope they also serve pizza.
They do, plus a lot of other great food choices. Plus, I'm planning my office Christmas party there. They can host a plethora of options for any get-together. Gaming, movie, drag show.
Drag show? Now I know where I'm planning my next party.
Hey, maybe you think there's a Liam Neeson or a superhero movie planned?
I hope not. But maybe there'll be a great independent documentary.
Sure. Call CMC at 403-670-5444 to book a special event or go online at canyonmeadowscinema.ca.
Oh, baby. Seems like I've been gone for years.
No,
right?
It's only been a week. Wow, I guess it's been 2 weeks, I guess, technically.
2 solid weeks. I had like this withdrawal, other than having the COVID, which was my first experience with it. I'd like to say to everybody listening that I am not a fan of this thing. It's not fun. I don't like it. It's poopy, and I don't suggest anybody else try it because it's not for kids. I can tell you that.
All right.
You know what is for kids? Tricks. Tricks are for kids.
I don't think... Well, tricks, maybe they say tricks are for kids, but I don't think they're good for kids. There's a lot of sugar in tricks.
Well, there's also... Tricks are usually for hookers, too, right? But that...
Well, they tend to turn a few.
Yeah. So tricks are for Johns. Or kids.
Yeah.
But COVID's for nobody.
But they're different types of tricks.
That's true. But they're both delicious. And on that note, we got to see a movie in cinemas. That was it? How delicious was it?
Well, sir. The only movie that opened this week was Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
And ever.
So, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever is a bit of an exercise in stamina. At 2 hours and 40 minutes or so, I hope you are alert going in, as you will be weary leaving the cinema. And if you are not alert going in, you will probably fall asleep somewhere around the 85-minute mark. It starts out well enough with the funeral of King T'Challa, and the little boatman montage was fine, along with the Marvel Studio intro, which, featured exclusively Black Panther clips. That was kind of cool. The story sets up with a completely logical setup that makes sense. The setup for this movie made perfect sense. Wakanda has vibranium. The white colonists of the world want it. Perfect. Let's have a movie. But instead, we completely abandon that initial premise and we get a film pitting two kingdoms against each other instead of against the people that are trying to steal their resources. I don't get it. The story here should be Wakanda versus the countries that are trying to steal their vibranium. Not Wakanda versus another kingdom that could actually help them out if they're in a similar situation. If it came to a war with the superpowers of the world, an alliance would make sense with the kingdom of Talokan. Not a war with them. I did not get this at first. I did not get this as they were trying to explain it as the movie progressed. And I did not get it when the movie ended. And speaking of the end, what logic is there in the Kukulkan king of Talokan giving up the way he did? I didn't get it. All of a sudden, that was it. He just surrendered, even though now he's powerful again. And I didn't understand it. It sort of made it so that the whole action sequence of that whole final bit, that whole final battle was all for nothing. It sort of made the whole movie pointless. And while we were talking action sequences, the choreography and camera movement of the fight scenes were completely unwatchable blurs. I did not even know what the frick I was watching. Add that to the clunky dialogue and the awkward attempts at humor, and I'm talking awkward attempts at humor that not one of them landed and made me even smirk. And you get one big disappointing mess of a movie. And lastly, that post-credit scene made me cringe, both at its weak attempt to tug at your heartstrings and its completely contrived introduction of another character who should have stayed hidden forever. Still, this was a superhero movie, so it was meh. Nah, it wasn't that good. Wakanda Forever was a rage, and not just for all the reasons mentioned, but maybe most of all for underutilizing Lupita Nyong'o. That just made me rage even more. So in summation, Disney and Marvel suck.
Yeah, I've been saying that for years, and you still don't believe me.
I'm starting
to
believe you.
Here's what I thought about it.
All right.
Just like Sprite Zero with grape flavor, Wakanda Forever is no cherry Diet Doc Mr. Pibb, like the first Black Panther was. And again, another Marvel superhero movie is way too long, has Force-like powers, like guns that kill Nemours people, but choose not to use them in a fight to the death. They are the smartest and most technologically superior people on the planet, but make stupid decisions all the way through this movie, including thinking they can go out in the middle of the ocean to battle a water species. Yeah, they thought that was smart. By the way, the aforementioned species live underwater, but speak Aztec, not sonar, like every other underwater mammal. Please, everyone, I dare you to try and hear anything said by anyone under the water. Any water, be it salt, be it fresh mountain, or even bath water. I can 100% bet you cannot hear this at all. Yet in this movie, that's all you could hear was them talking underwater. Be it in English. For whatever reason, they switched from English to Aztec, just like the Wakandans did. They would be like, for no apparent reason, they would speak English. And then when they wanted to say something in Wakandan, they would say it in Wakandan. It made absolutely no sense. Like, pick a language and stick to it. And then how about you have some science behind, if you're going to create an underwater species that can communicate to each other, how about they actually speak with sonar, the way that dolphins and whales speak? Because speaking underwater, you can't hear anything. I don't know who thought it was a good idea to maybe think that made sense, but guess what? It doesn't. Plus one long, silly car chase, bike chase, boat chase, spaceship chase, whale chase, and of course, I'm guessing putting another child in a superhero movie to sell more toys, and perhaps now that we have baby Thor and now baby T'Challa, we will baby the rest of the Avengers, or the Marvel Universe, and they can join up with Muppet Babies and star in a Saturday morning cartoon with Star Wars babies that apparently will also have babies and use their Force-like powers all together. Where no, you don't have to use the Force or your powers to the maximum every time. Just at the times when you feel like you want to be cool using them. And nothing is better than Muppet Star Wars MCU babies using Force-like powers. This is a series made in heaven. You've got babies, you've got Muppets, you've got Star Wars, you've got MCU characters. This is the future of Disney, the MCU, Muppet babies, and all the Muppet stuff that we are now going to be completely Disneyfied for the rest of our life. Now, all that being said, there was a couple of things I did love. Finally, a movie with proper diversity, including an LGBTQ characters, even though they seem to just throw them in as an afterthought and really didn't give it any credence to the characters. Also, I thought Letitia Wright did a pretty good job leading the Wakandans, although her dialogue wasn't great. And of course, my love of my life, Lupita Nyong'o, the most beautiful person that's ever walked the earth, as always, was worth of the price of admission just to see her in screen. Although this movie was a rage, yes, absolutely. Although this movie was a rage, like pretty much every superhero movie is, as I've mentioned over and 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 over again, I will still beg that we stop watching these terrible MCU movies because it is so rare that they make anything above a rage for me. Did I mention that this was 2 hours and 40 minutes long? No, Bryce did. But this movie was a long, painful watch of nothing that made sense. To your point earlier, there was nothing that made sense in this movie. Not one single thing made any sense whatsoever, and how they could tie
fighting each other.
And they made no sense, and it was just like the characters were whitewashed with just, it was just terrible.
Yes.
Like, I mean, I feel sad because to me, the original Black Panther was such a strong, powerful movie. And in my opinion, it's one of the best of the MCU had to offer at the time. But, the fact that they had some amazing cast in this, and then the script and story that was so weak, it was painful. Like having the white colonists in there they didn't even need it. It was like unneeded having them even in it. It was just.
They kind of,
if they're going to do what they did.
Yeah. Well, they with the whole thing with the, whatever it was, the UN or whatever it was at the beginning, the whole meeting where she makes her speech and everything. And then they bring those guys in. And I was thinking, okay, this actually isn't the worst story. This at least it makes sense. And then they didn't, like, why even do any of that if you're not going to go follow through with it? Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Well, then all of a sudden you've got two nations fighting each other. Why? Yeah. Because everybody from the outside is trying to get their resources. Why are they fighting each other? I still don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah. No, not well. Even everything they did, just every single decision they made was just and the arc of getting to the new Black Panther to me was also just.
Yeah, it was clunky.
It was like it didn't make sense. No. Like her arc to get to where she had to be didn't make any real sense. And they make such a big thing about that process in the original Black Panther, where they go to the afterworld or underworld or whatever to see their history, right? And it was like, and then she comes out of it, and then it's just like. Yeah, I'm not telling you anything. Yeah, I didn't see anybody. Like it was like all those things just don't make sense. Like it's like they've built these tropes around these superhero movies, and I don't understand why we just keep eating it. Like I just don't get it. I don't understand why somebody hasn't said, this is just enough. And actually, it's funny because the promo we're doing this week for Sean's podcast, he's doing a thing of join my Patreon so that I never have to watch an MCU movie again. I almost want to join his Patreon because I completely agree with it. So, yeah. This movie's terrible.
It really is. I did not.
Do we
like
still
it.
have to watch these? Can we not just,
Yep.
watch whatever's coming out on Netflix? Like,
Gotta
I know
watch
our
'em.
podcast isn't called Film Love; it's Film Rage. But
At the very least, other than this particular one, but as as these movies come out, we know it's going to make one person on our panel happy. So he's not here right now, but he loves
and
the
he
MCU.
refused to see this one.
Very strange.
Yeah. Oh well.
I don't get
Well,
that guy sometimes.
Maybe someday we'll. I don't know.
Maybe someday
move
they'll
on.
make better movies. Could happen.
I don't know. I want
Every now
you
and then
know,
they make a good
I
one.
want like Spawn to come out with a new movie. That's what I want.
Mm.
A real good version of Spawn this time.
Eh.
And have
How's
John Leguizamo back in it.
Yeah, bring John Leguizamo back.
That's right.
Yes.
As Spawn. There we go.
As Spawn. All right, sir.
Oh, the Murman Minute. And he's not here to enjoy it.
What?
But the reason that we're playing the Merman music is because Wakanda Forever did refer to him in the movie.
They did. Why didn't?
They said the Merman.
Yeah. They did indeed.
They referred to the Merman.
They
And
referred to
so,
the
for
merman.
that
And who
reason,
else could they have been talking about?
That's who I thought they were talking about. In fact,
Obviously.
we looked at each other and pointed and went, Merman.
Merman. All right.
We miss you, buddy.
Indeed. I do dig his music, though.
His music is pretty cool. Kind of reminds me of that Banshees of Inisherin. It
Yeah,
could have
a
been
little
played.
bit.
Yeah.
I love that movie, man. That was so good. Remember last week when we watched really good movies?
When you
Oh.
watched them and I didn't get to go to the
Oh
cinemas.
yeah. Did you end up seeing that?
I
by the way?
remember that. I remember. No, but I'll probably be seeing it this
Oh, you gotta see it. It's so good.
I will.
So
weekend. People
good.
check out our website because once I've seen it. And
Why didn't you
seen
see it last
put
week?
up.
Oh yeah, you had the COVID.
That's right. I had COVID. Yeah.
God.
That's right.
That is a shame.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
I can't forget that. I can tell you.
Oh, that's poopy. All
Oh,
right.
enough of Murray's music.
Yeah, fair enough.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
Oh, sweet, 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 sweet rage. Washing over my body like waves of Wakandan water, spilling over my body. My rage this week is real simple. It's, I hope this is stealing Bryce's, by the way, is if you're going to make a movie with the most beautiful person that's ever walked the face of the earth, you need to give them more dialogue and make the movie better. To
Mentioned it in my review.
Try and reach up to her standards of Lupita Nyong'o. She is the most brilliant, most beautiful person, and the fact that she was in this movie and I hated it makes me sad.
Yeah.
So my rage is still at Disney, MCU, Muppet Babies, and the whole Star Wars universe and Force-like powers in general. But ultimately, it's because they put Lupita Nyong'o in this movie and didn't give her enough screen time.
That's fair. My rage should be Stony Trail. I don't understand that road. I thought it was supposed to be a ring road.
It's not finished yet.
Yeah, but I'm driving home, right?
Yeah.
And I'm on the ring road, so I'm thinking, okay, well, it's going to be a circle. So I'm going to actually end up at like 16th Avenue where I can get off and go home. Next thing I know,
it's not
I'm on the
finished
turn
yet.
off to Bragg Creek. I've been driving for like 45 minutes, and now I got to turn around and
not
head
fin-
back to Calgary.
It's not finished yet.
It's not a ring road. Why you call it a ring road? It's a horseshoe at best.
It's a horseshoe now, yeah. It'll be a ring road eventually.
Anyways, that's not actually my rage. That's how I spent my Monday evening trying to get home.
That's why we were late getting this
I was literally
today.
driving and driving. I don't even know what road I don't know how I got on that road because I'm like, I know that road, but I'm like, I didn't even know I was on it. And it's not the ring road. And then all of a sudden I hit that traffic circle where you can go to Cochrane one way and Bragg Creek the other. And I'm like, how the hell did I get here? So then finally, we left the theater at like 8:30? I think I got home at like 10.
That's the best.
Anyways. So that's part one of my rage. Actually, I should just leave it there. That should be my rage. But nobody even knows what I'm talking about. But call something a ring road. It shouldn't be a horseshoe. That's my rage.
Well, that's a pretty good rage. And people who live in big cities like Atlanta or New York or Chicago understand ring roads. And the fact that ours isn't finished, you can understand why we're frustrated.
So my rage is the fact
What's your real rage?
My real rage. Actually, I'm not as angry about this. I think we heard my real rage. This is my pseudo rage. My rage is the fact that Marvel cannot seem to make an original film. Everything they make is the same formula with different actors. They all have to hit the same beats as far as the action goes. They all have to tie together in some stupid way. Everything has to overlap somehow. Why can't, say, Black Panther, for instance, just exist without having to overlap into other Marvel stories? It's all just exhausting. It's all just too much.
Yeah. So, okay, so am I rubbing off on you? I'm not mean like physically rubbing on you, but I mean rubbing off on you in the sense that, are you starting to realize that even if it is a superhero movie, it doesn't still make it a meh. The movie is now boring and they're all a rage unless there's something completely unique about it.
I'm holding out hope. I mean, I've had a few in a row here that not been good. But, we'll see. Could get better.
Just start with them already knowing they're a rage. And then if there's something that's really good about it, like the last Spider-Man, which made it to a meh, then it deserves it. But it should just always sit simmering at a boiling pot of rage. And, until something good comes along, then it just stays there. Because that's where they belong, is a rage.
I'm looking forward to Babylon for one reason, because Tobey Maguire's in it. I can't get enough of Tobey Maguire.
Babylon's not an MCU movie, is it?
No.
Okay, good.
You're talking about Spider-Man. The only Spider-Man is worth mentioning is Tobey Maguire.
You went back to the real
Garfield
Spider-Man.
was okay. Holland is a wiener. But Tobey Maguire is awesome.
Tobey Maguire's the real Spider-Man, let's face it.
That's it.
That's a good way to close this.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
There we go. That's the one I'm most excited about. So, interestingly enough, the fact that we weren't here last week, it has to be said, we got a lot of feedback from our listeners, and so thank you, listeners, for giving me lots of feedback on social media about Bryce's solo effort. There was a lot of people that actually gave comment. In fact, we got more comments about Bryce's solo effort than we got on every one of our other podcasts we've ever done. So I have to share some of this with Bryce.
Because everybody agreed with my list segment is what I'm guessing.
No, actually, everybody who mentioned specifically about the list episode was saying this was the funniest episode of the lists ever. That Bryce thought he could just do whatever he wanted on the list. So I had at least 5 people mention to me. Yeah, and unfortunately, none of those people are getting on the list, unfortunately, for Bryce. Because they've been previously discussed, A, and B, crew is plural.
We can revisit
crew
things.
Is plural.
It's not against the rules to revisit. We might be doing that today.
Yeah, we are going to be doing some revisiting today, that's for sure. But yeah, so anyway, to update everyone, there's no way that Rob Zombie will ever make it. We literally just voted his film the three of us, three of four of us rated it as a rage. So he cannot be on. He's got to wait 8 more movies, Bryce, unfortunately.
What?
And Ben Affleck is pretty much repulsive for Murray. And
What?
I would say 70% is repulsive for me. So, yeah.
He's mesmerizing.
Unfortunately. Yeah, that's not a thing. But you know what? That was the best. I have to agree. That was the best list episode I ever heard. So, thanks everyone who gave commentary on that. And the rest of our listeners said, you did a pretty bang up job, buddy. So, congrats on your episode by yourself.
Right on.
So because we only had one movie in cinema, Bryce thought we should just keep adding more films to the list, which was good because one of these movies I had never seen before. But
really?
One of them I had seen before. And unfortunately, maybe unfortunately, but also maybe fortunately, is we decided we were going to see Pain and Gain because it has Peter Stormare and it has Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, that too. But unfortunately, Stormare wasn't in the film more than 5 minutes. So
he was barely in it.
He was barely in it, but even then, he was pretty damn mesmerizing.
He was mesmerizing, although he was getting a run for his money from, what's her head?
Yeah. She,
in the same scene
nurse.
with her. What the hell's her name? It's left me.
It'll come to us later.
Yes.
But the more important thing about this was
Rebel Wilson.
Only reason, yes, she was great in that.
She was so good.
I've never seen Rebel Wilson where I've liked her more than in that movie.
Yeah.
But the more important thing about this revisiting Pain and Gain, and the whole reason that I was lucky enough to be able to put it on the list
is that I had to watch it again.
Yes, that Bryce had to watch it again because he gave this a mondo, and for that reason, we could not put the worst director of all time, Michael Bay, on our doubted list.
Right.
Now, I
don't even remember any of this. Are you sure this happened?
Yeah, if you go back and listen to our old content, where we talk about Michael Bay when we tried to get him on as doubted, and you said,
I could have.
Well, we can't. In fact, I think you even got mad at me. You're like, how could you put him on there? Because Pain and Gain is a mondo.
And I'm mad at you.
No,
I
it's
wouldn't
not.
get mad at you, but Pain and Gain was, I thought in my brain that it was mondo, but then I watched it again. And
this is a good reason why we have these actual.
It's not mondo.
It's not, and in fact, for me, it was a rage. I don't know if it was it a rage.
I'm still gonna give it a meh, but it's a low meh. I didn't hate it. Well, there was stuff about it that I thought. I still think it's the best Michael Bay movie ever made.
Well, it is the only one that's got meh, so
yeah.
It's the only one that's made it to meh.
Well, maybe it isn't though. But I think to do this officially though, can you pull up the list of his movies real quick?
Oh, can I?
Yeah.
Can I? Oh, I can.
Excellent. Let's
maybe it doesn't even. Maybe it doesn't even. It doesn't even matter now, though.
It might be off. Like it might be not 8 back.
It might be 8. It might be
over
8 back. Right?
Might be. Let's see what's happening here.
So, okay, you got a pen or something to write these down?
I don't
in
think
reverse
I need
order?
to, but okay, let's do it.
Okay, so we watched Ambulance this year, which was a rage.
Yeah, that was a rage.
We saw 6 Underground, which was
oh god,
a rage.
that was I hate that frick. There's movies that I really, really don't like, but I hate that movie.
Yeah, it's bad. Transformers: The Last Night, which was a rage. 13 Hours, which was a rage.
Yep, rage.
Transformers: Age of Extinction was a rage.
Rage.
Pain and Gain, which was a rage for me. And sorry, what was it for you again?
It's still a meh.
Okay,
but it's definitely not mondo.
Thank you. Then there was Transformers: Dark of the Moon, which was a rage.
How many freaking Transformers movies has he made?
Okay, right. There's more. Just wait. Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen, which was a rage.
Okay, that was Pain and Gain, and then Transformers, blah blah blah.
Okay, let me just go back. Ambulance, Underground,
a
Transformers movie, 13 Hours, a Transformers movie, Pain and Gain, a Transformers movie. Then another Transformers movie called Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen.
Back to back. Wow.
Yeah, and then Before that, there was another Transformers movie.
He did Transformers back to back to back? No.
Yeah, so he did in 2007. Is this the first of the 8, by the way?
That's 9 back. So you're telling me, I'm sorry,
So
there are 5
okay.
Transformers movies? And that doesn't even
okay, so it's
include the
Transformers
stupid...
1,
Yeah.
2007.
Yeah.
Transformers Revenge of the Fallen is 2009.
Yeah.
Transformers Dark of the Moon was 2011. Pain and Gain split that up. Then Transformers Age of Extinction,
Holy crap. There's 5
2014.
Transformers
Then 13 Hours. Then Transformers The Last Night.
movies. Oh God, how are you
Then
fucking-
6 Underground, then Ambulance.
And
So yeah.
and technically there's 6 Transformers movies because of that.
1, 2, 3.
Well, there's those 5, but then there's that little love bug one. What's his name?
Yeah, but he didn't do that.
I know he didn't, but there is 6 Transformers movies. I know.
I don't know, it was Herbie the Love Bug, but I don't know.
Herbie the love bug that transforms and stuff.
It was yellow, the yellow Herbie
Yellow,
Love Bug.
yeah, yellow Herbie.
Well, you know what? It's kind of good that because by the time he did the first Transformers, he might have made it off the list because the original Transformers was meh.
It was a rage.
It was meh. It had Shia LaBeouf in it.
Well,
He's
there
good.
you
I like
go.
Shia LaBeouf.
Well,
He's great.
anyways,
Shia
yeah, he is officially
Everything Shia's in
Bay,
is a
Bay
Mayor Armando.
equals
Shia's-
doubted.
Shia LaBeouf is almost undoubted.
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf. Okay, yeah, he was in the movie I liked that you didn't. What was it called?
Yeah.
Something
The
about
one
honey.
about honey.
Honey, honey.
American
something.
Honey.
American Honey.
One of the
Yeah,
worst
that's
movies
good.
that's ever been
That's a
made
good
of all
movie.
time.
Shia
Yeah.
LaBeouf is amazing in that.
He was great in that. Too bad the movie was completely awful. Unwatchable.
Oh, that's rough.
Which
I
I've still
liked it.
never seen the ending. 'Cause I just
Hondo.
couldn't take it anymore.
Hondo.
Okay, so Pain and Gain was a success, shall we say? In one way,
I'd say it was.
it was a success. All right, so The Gunman.
Because I'm pleased that Bay is on the list. I mean, there is no question that he
Yeah.
is. He
It's
is
about
doubted.
time.
He is so
Thank God we
freaking
watched
doubted.
this.
All right,
So
The Gunman.
I have a few comments about it. So it was Mark Rylance versus Idris Elba
Yep.
versus Javier Bardem.
Yep.
And goddamn Sean Penn
Yep.
has a hot bod for his age in this film. Holy crap, is he cut in this film?
Yeah, he got into shape.
Yeah, now what I can tell you is I'm not sure what I hated more. This movie or seeing my beloved Sean Penn for this entire movie. That's one thing I want to get out there.
It wasn't that bad, but it was.
So this
bad.
movie was a rage for me. I hated
it's-
every single thing about it.
It's mad.
It was awful.
Actually,
So Idris wasn't in it long enough. He was 3 minutes and 33 seconds.
I was going to mention that's literally. Was he in long enough? Is what I've got.
No, he was not.
He was
so
not.
it was Rylance versus Bardem.
Yep.
And you ready?
1, 2, 3. Rylance.
Rylance.
Okay.
All right. Javier
Bardem's
Bardem.
gone.
Bardem was overacting the entire movie.
Yeah, it was one of. It's like maybe the weakest I've ever seen him, and I don't know if I don't know if I can blame him or the material or just the direction.
But I mean,
but
he was
he's
overacting.
got to step it up. Yeah.
There was too many overacting scenes in this movie with him in it. That took me out of the movie. But yeah, Rylance just crushed him. It was so obvious. And then we lost Bryce. He's disappeared. All right. So the other thing that we need to talk about is
Yes.
Moonrise Kingdom.
Moonrise
So-
Kingdom.
Now, this was a big one because we had Bill Murray versus Frances McDormand versus Tilda Swinton versus Harvey Keitel. Both Tilda Swinton and Harvey Keitel were not in it
long
for
enough.
5 minutes,
Yeah.
so they were out.
Yep.
So it was basically Bill Murray versus Frances McDormand, this was a fair fight, a very fair fight, I would say. Now, what I'm going to tell you, because we're not going to count this one down, is I'm voting Edward Norton. I think Ed Norton was more mesmerizing than both Bill Murray and Frances McDormand.
Really?
Yes. And
Interesting.
I would almost say that Bruce Willis also, who did an amazing job in this film.
He was
But,
fine in it, but no.
Yeah, he didn't outshine Bill Murray.
No.
So,
I think yeah. No, I mean that's fine. You've got Ed Norton, But yeah, no, I'm going Bill Murray.
Okay. Well, then thank God Frances McDormand, because she was definitely weaker than Bill Murray. But to me, Edward Norton took out Bill Murray in this too. I anytime Ed Norton was on screen, I could not
He was great.
look away. He was more mesmerizing to me than anybody in this film.
That just when you see Bill Murray without his shirt walking across the living room there, going that I'm gonna go chop down a tree. That's all.
That was a good scene. That was a good scene. But every single scene Ed Norton was in, like, he was just on point. And whenever Ed Norton was in a scene, even with Bill Murray, it was Norton. I trust me, I do not want to see Bill Murray go. And my love of Frances McDormand, it's undying.
Mm-hmm.
But I literally thought Ed Norton was better than both of them. So that sucks.
So Ed Norton's not on our list, though.
No, he's not, because Murray vetoed him.
Why would Murray veto him?
He doesn't like Ed Norton. I don't know why. Don't know.
Because I think I can sense this happening a lot anytime we've got a movie where Ed Norton's in it.
We have to, but Murray, I think, has seen Moonrise Kingdom, so he would still have an opinion on it. But it doesn't matter, because I don't think he's seen enough Ed Norton movies. But still, anyway, it doesn't matter, because Murray's already vetoed him. So unless we bring back the Murr and we see Nathan watch a movie with Ed Norton.
I don't understand. This is the lists are getting. This particular list is getting more convoluted in my head now.
Except we just lost a person, so we don't need to add another one. Just remember that.
Yeah, no, I understand that, and I'm not saying that I thought that Bill Murray was more mesmerizing anyways. I'm not saying that he should go on. I'm kind of saying that he wasn't part of this.
No, but you know what?
He's already been vetoed off of it.
Norton,
so he kind of needs to stand on the sidelines, just like Sean Penn did in the Gunman.
But no, I would. Well, I see. No, but if we both agreed that Ed Norton was more mesmerizing, then they would both come off, and then he would go on. He'd have to. Right.
All right.
But
fair enough.
In the meantime, you and I both agree Ed Norton is mesmerizing, but apparently not is enough for you in this movie. So
nope, not
he can't go on, because he would have had to have taken them both out. Yeah, that's all there is.
All right.
So, we didn't lose Frances McDormand. Now, here's going to be, I think, the battle of the ages that we watch for next week.
Okay.
Which we will be watching Constantine, which has Tilda Swinton versus Peter Stormare.
Now, do you remember them actually being in this?
Oh yeah,
the same amount
Tilda
of
Swinton's
time?
in this for a significant amount of time, and Peter Stormare, he's at least in there for the last almost 10 full minutes of the movie at the end.
All right, because I just remember I didn't like this movie, but
I freaking love this movie. It's one of my favorite Keanu movies of all times.
Yes, well, that's not my problem.
He's delicious.
Yeah.
Well, it's got Tilda Swinton and Peter Stormare in it, so
it was all downhill for Keanu after Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted, there you go. Bogus Journey, or
no, the first one, Bogus Journey. He was already on the descent. I'm kidding. Keanu's fine.
I was gonna say, bite your tongue.
Yes. All right. So Constantine, that's a thing.
That's a thing.
And
we're gonna be seeing it.
Stormare versus Swinton. Man, I'm kind of bummed that we keep on having Stormare going up, because that's rough.
Hey man, he's holding his own.
He is, and he might do it. As I said, there's no guarantee that.
I mean, but he's up against Tilda Swinton, so this is going to be a tough fight.
That is uber tough. Yes, and not the ride sharing company. All right. Now,
you know what time it is?
I don't.
It's time for a promo.
Oh, yeah.
Review it, defend it, explain it, visit it. listen to it all. Welcome to Review It Yourself, a podcast with more sides than a Michelin star restaurant, as if I've ever been to one of those. Outside of the regular solo Review It Yourself episodes, guests will join me to defend their favourite bad film, explain something in their own country, for example, American football, not proper football. There's someone from the north of England just doesn't understand. Check out the new Visit It Yourself video podcast, Spotify only at this point, where we explore battlefields in northern England. Now you can review it yourself. Yes, the podcast is finally starting to live up to its name. Email a review to reviewityourselfpodcast@gmail.com. Contact us on Instagram, Review It Yourself Podcast 2021. Let us know on Twitter, if you still have that, @yourselfreview. Send your review of a film that I've covered or that I haven't covered, and I'll read it out during a future episode. Review It Yourself. New episodes every Monday morning. Because what better pick-me-up than a podcast which contains no politics, no pandering, and has no point.
Last week on Rage or Dare, Jim got his Christmas present early. Oh, no, wait, his New Year's present early. Regardless of which holiday it is for, he gets the pure pleasure of seeing New Year's Eve, the movie. Which sounds like a party, right? But we all know this is a present Jim will not be happy to unwrap. I thought I would take a moment to update you all on where our count is at. I, Casey the Great and Powerful, and my evil bag of torturous remakes, 4. And the Film Rage boys, 0. As in Film Rage, you cannot hide from the rage. 0. Now let's check in with Jim and see what's in that New Year's present box he opened. What's in the box? What's in the box? Spoiler alert, it's rage-worthy.
Huh. So, what was in the box, Jim?
Well, this box of a movie, it kind of sets a tone with a specific discussion that is had in the movie, where there is no beauty left in this world, or no magic. But then, and I quote, then how do you explain the entire world coming together on one night to celebrate the hope of a new year? Well, I will explain it. Not everyone celebrates New Year's on December 31st. For example, like the Jewish, or the Chinese, or the Muslims, or the Indians, or the Nepalese. So what exactly is this movie saying? Everyone celebrates the hope of the new year on December 31st. Really? Don't you mean less than half the world celebrates the hope of the new year on December 31st? I'll just let you all read through the lines on what this movie is saying. But suffice to say, as far as the makers of this movie are concerned, people of color are not part of that world they are creating. But they are represented in this movie if they are, they're done as racist stereotypes, or in minor ways to support a white main character, or try and pretend they have stories to be told, but they're really not fully represented. Well, except for Common, because he's always cool. Couple that with every line of dialogue is delivered in an annoying and completely repulsive way, and usually by someone who is repulsive. And there is so much content in this, so many people. It's like a who's who of annoying, and the most annoying, except for Common, of course, because he is always cool. Every single thread of story, and there are many, many threads, are like every awful holiday trope rolled into one. But instead of Christmas crap, they are all focused on New Year's crap. But still, with the Christmas holiday movies we hate, like the Scrooge theme, which is done at least a couple of times in these storylines, plus every other Hallmark movie channel. And on top of that, all that, most unbelievable line of dialogue comes up when a doctor threatens a rectal exam as a punishment for an annoying couple asking for a C-section on New Year's, and the husband responds, "That's not good." In what universe, when a hot doctor offers a rectal exam, does not any red-blooded American not drop trowel and say anything but "Thank you, doctor"? The fact that they crammed this much story into a tight 1 hour and 58 minutes of awful is astonishing. Well, except for Common, of course, because he's always cool. But this movie was everything I hated about every holiday classic movie rolled into one huge rage of a New Year's Eve present. This year, just because of this film, I'm not celebrating New Year's Eve on December 31st. I'm celebrating it in a few other times, like the rest of the cultures that are not apparently not included as people as far as this movie is concerned. Because the whole world celebrates on December 31st, don't you know? Except for Common, because of course he's cool. This movie's awful. It's so bad. It's so bad. Like,
Yeah.
it's got so many little tiny stories of crap and awful that you just forget how much crap and awful that you put in. And they have duplicate Scrooges, so you're kind of like, what is happening? I don't get it. It was so bad. And it's 2011 this movie's made, and it really is so whitewashed. Like the people of color in this film are so underrepresented, and their jobs, like a nurse, not a doctor, or a security guard, or they have what's his name, the Canadian East Indian dude. Russell Peters is in this, and of course he has to put on a fake Indian accent, which he does in his comedy act a lot. But that's to him. Like, don't write a script where he's got to pretend. Like, there was no reason for any of that shit. It's one of those movies that it's hard to watch, and it's just painful. This movie is completely awful.
All right.
Thank you for that delicious present.
You're very welcome.
The box was just as horrifying as poor Brad Pitt had to see in Seven.
What's in the box?
What's in the box? Exactly. Now, we were actually dared by the Vern and Ashley from Cinema Recall to see a movie called The Shape of Things. But unfortunately, we're not going to be able to watch that this coming week because we're going to be going into festival season. We've got a documentary festival that we're going to be seeing starting actually next week. So we are going to be watching The Shape of Things when we find it. Bryce and I will be going on a hunt of the DVD stores
I'll find
it because we can't seem to find it on streaming services.
It's
so we will
there.
find it. We'll find it. Oh yeah, we've got Film Rage fans hunting it right now.
Yes.
So it will be coming up. Thanks, the Vern and Ashley, for that. You guys are fantastic. But guess where we have to go?
Oh no. Where?
We got to go back.
Yeah.
To the torturous bag of Casey.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't like Casey's bag. I will just throw away Casey's bag.
No. Yeah, I mean, Merman's given us some stuff, but Casey always delivers.
All right.
What you got for me, son?
I'm pulling something horrible, I'm sure, out of Casey's bag. Okay. Oh, for crying out loud.
That good, huh?
It's a television show adaptation.
Oh, baby.
I think Nicole Kidman's in it. I think Will Ferrell's in it.
Oh, is it Bewitched?
It's Bewitched.
Oh my God. This is one of the worst things.
All right.
Casey gets it.
Casey, you are a son of a bitch.
And we're going to work hard to see if we can get Casey on our Krampus episode this year.
All
see if
right.
we can put him to work. And get him to find us a really, really bad Christmas movie to dare us to watch.
I don't want to watch Bewitched.
I don't want to see it either. But you know what, Bryce? We're not called Film Love. We're called Film Rage.
Yeah, we are.
Well, thanks, Ragers, for listening. Thanks, extended Film Rage family. You can find them all in our show notes. Thanks to Casey from the Nerdy Photographer, the voice of Rage or Dare. Find us on social media everywhere at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. We are always wanting to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, and subscribe, or send us emails to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see terrible movies to fuel our rage, but no matter what you do, please make us rage. Please, 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 please. That's it for this week. Rage on.
Rage on.